Hello. Welcome to episode 27 of Shift Your Health. My name is Paigey Poo.
My name is Jagger Bagger.
Together we are PJ. Guys, we are talking about eating on the road as shift workers. You guys travel a lot. And I think it can be so hard. Personally, myself, like even when I do big journeys, to not do mindless snacking or pull over and grab some takeaway from the cafe or the petrol station or something like that. So I think, today let's chat about some easy
I just always think like
go-tos.
if you're not prepared, you're gonna fail. And I think I have a strong mindset, and it happens to me.
Yeah. Tired, teasy.
Yeah.
Just want to have a little snacky poo.
You get hangry. I saw Paige a couple hours ago get hangry.
It was not good. I was ready to throw in the towel.
It was not
I was
fun.
like, give me my caramel oat milk latte.
But it's like, guys, like that's where like if you aren't preparing, then you are. I hate the word fail, but it's like you just that's when you do get the mindless eating, or you get hangry and you become irritable, and that's a domino
people around
effect.
you don't like it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it can be very tricky. But I do say these days, I think at servos, they've gotten so much better on the protein bandwagon. Protein shakes, they've got bars.
Yeah.
Do be mindful of like reading the label, because sometimes
some of them
labeling,
are super high in sugar.
Yeah, and that's where like just be mindful. But a protein shake you're usually not going to go wrong.
We did that last night actually. We were really hungry. We were going to we were wanting to ensure that we didn't just go and pig out on something too wild.
Definitely.
And we went straight to the protein shake.
But it's why it's why we always promote this, guys, like aim for high protein, because usually the carbs and fats will follow the protein. Like I think like the bare minimum, if you're trying to lose, even trying to get any health and fitness goal, just aim for a protein target, and you're probably gonna crush it.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's the bare minimum. Obviously, we know a lot of variables that could make it easier for you.
Yeah.
But guys, like be prepared. Obviously, like I said, if you aren't prepared, we are lucky these days. I would say 10 years ago,
it would have been a lot harder. Yeah.
Like servos were useless. Like it was just chips, lollies, deep fried stuff. But these days they're definitely a little bit more health conscious.
They have up their game. They even have fresh fruit. They literally have fresh fruit. It's one of the things I'll go for is like a protein shake and a banana. If I haven't already pre-packed my food, that's also a point to this, is like if you can, like Jake said, preparation is key. You want to make sure, okay, I've gone and done my weekly shops and I prepared that I'm potentially going to be on the road a few times this week, or, because I'm driving to work. And I'm commuting 2-3 hours a day, I need to have some snacks up my sleeve. So what am I going to put in my order? Typically for me, it's protein yogurts, protein shakes, and then fruits. Just fruits to choose from.
Like, I think when it comes to that, I used to recommend this to clients, was like, get protein bars. I don't think protein bars are the best thing in the world, but the reason why I like protein bars is you can keep them in your car most of the time. Obviously, some can melt.
Australia?
Yeah, Australia ridiculously hot. But I used to say it was like the just in case, or like the if you need to, like a code red. You check the console and you've got something there. Yeah. I used to find that. Or another option was like, if you have protein, like put the protein powder in like a shaker, because like most of the time you can get water pretty easily. Yeah, this is if you want to be on like a budget and you don't want to go, because the one downside to the servos with the health,
expensive,
they are very expensive. Like our protein shake costs us like $5 or $6, and those from Woolworths. Once again, I'm happy. Like the price is a price, but it's like I also think like servos. If you order a servo, that would have probably cost me $6, maybe $8. Then they're not cheap. So like that can be a great alternative. I used to always be a fan of that. And that's where, once again, put it in your shop if you don't put it in the shop. But I do say for you guys, like, even commuters on the way to work, like make a protein smoothie and like take it on like on a you can take it in like a coffee mug, or keep it in your protein shaker, but you'd have to prepare
That's what I was about to say. You got to get ahead of game, and then you've got to prepare having that or having access.
Some people, I know clients that commute literally an hour plus to work. I used to be like that for many years. Yeah. I knew I'd get stuck in traffic. It took me an hour unless I left ridiculously early, and it was not fun, but I had to do it. So I used to bring food. And that was
you had a goal. You had motivation. You had discipline.
But it was when I had my breakfast. Now not everyone has to do that. I don't think it's a mandatory thing, but you know, if that suits you and you are getting hungry in your big commute, well, it's just being diligent and mindful.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you remember back when we ran the face-to-face gym. Do you remember my bag that I bought specifically for preparation? Do you remember that at all? You're like, yes, no, I don't.
I feel like maybe, but
it was a bag that actually had like a freezer bag inside of it. So you would open up the zip and there was this massive hole where I could just store all my food. So I knew I'd be out 16 hours that day because obviously our days were quite big. The commutes were sometimes big as well, but I would put like a freezer pack in there and I would stash in like some protein yogurts and up and goes, and I would keep that nice and cool because we didn't have a fridge. So it was like one of those things just to make sure I had everything I needed because, you know, like we say, we need to prepare ourselves, and that massively helped me. So you don't need to have a bag that's a freezer bag, but
that's cool, by the way.
Yeah, it was sick. I was mind blown. I was like, this is the best thing since sliced bread.
I think these days we're so much luckier with some of the, you know, advancements. Like those sort of things like 10 years ago, that was just not a thing, but
100%.
It was really cool. Another tip I would always say, like, you know, with this, and this happens for a lot of the, like, guys, you know, the podcast called Shift Your Health, a lot of shift workers, is you guys will do double shifts. So don't be afraid to pack a little extra. I know that can sometimes be a negative because we talk about willpower and you might want to eat that. But if you commonly do double shifts, you know, which I know a lot of people listening probably do, well, prepare for it. Don't do a double shift even though, you know, maybe you only got the one shift, but then you know, I'm probably going to do a double if they ask, because they ask me all the time.
Yeah.
Prepare for that. Like if you know that's more than likely going to happen, do it. Or pack 2 bags and reach out to Paige. Maybe she'll hook you up with whatever that bag she was talking about. Maybe you pack 2 of them.
I'll find it. I'll have to find it again.
You know, so then you know, okay, well, if I'm doing a double, all I have to do is go to my car, get the other bag and bring it in and I'm good to go.
Or grab my protein bar from the car because I've left that in there as a backup. You know. Or worst case, and you get a small gap, head to like a Woolworths or a Coles and grab those really easy to go snacks that you can get.
Okay.
That's like a backup on a backup.
I'm going to ask one final...
Set those backups, guys.
One final question, and I think people get a lot of value. What if they've got like, you know, just, I don't know, like a fryer, like they've just...
A fryer? What do you mean?
Just like deep fried stuff.
Where's this though?
Where
are we
just
talking
at a shops,
about?
like that's it. They've got like, it's very limited, you know. What would you do in that scenario?
Well, you don't want to not feed yourself. That's the hard part. Like, you don't want to say don't eat because then you're running off empty and you're probably cranky. And I don't know, like I would never tell somebody not to eat. I would just say get a really small portion of something. If that was the only thing you could do. Like, honestly, if you couldn't get to the shops because you don't have a break and you haven't brought any of your snacks and there's only one shop, I very much doubt there's only one shop that only serves fried food because these days, as Jake said, things have options. But getting things like, you know, making sure that you are hydrating yourself as well, because a lot of our ladies, off topic, but you know, a lot of shift workers as well don't really hydrate much because they are so on shift, so busy, they don't get to have any water, and then they start to get really hungry. So I guess the thing would be just like, if you really need to, and that's the worst case, have it, but have a little bit of it with some water.
Look at that, dropping some fire at the end.
What about you?
No, I would agree. Like, I think when it comes to it, you just need to make a smart choice, and the smart choice, it might not be the best choice, but it's the best choice for that time. You know,
deep fried chicken, take off all the skin.
Yeah, but
eat the chicken meat.
That's what I'd say. Like, that's a really smart choice. You know, in the circumstances that you're in, and you know, at the end of the day, even if you did eat a bit of the skin,
it's not the end of the world.
It's not going to be the end of the world.
You know, please don't think it is going to be the end of the world.
I think it's not. Yeah, it's even having one burger is, you're not going to put your all the weight back on.
Yeah,
doesn't work like that, guys. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for episode 27 of Shift. Remember, guys, join our Facebook group. Tips, tricks every single week, and you can ask your questions if you guys have any questions. That's going to be it. PJ out.